Hello there and welcome to the StandPoint. Today's program is very, very important that you set up to watch as a woman, as a man, as a family. You know, I always say that God created women in a very special way. And I have a pastor who says women are God's partners in creation. A mother would do anything, a good mother, let me stress, would do anything possible for her child. No matter what the health professionals have said, no matter what the prophecies have said, she will go the last, to the end of the world to make sure she gives the best to her child. Today we are about to hear the story of a mother who was advised by the best. Also, she thought that this child will not live, must not live. Just turn your back and go home. And she said no. 6 years on, the story will blow your mind. My name is Gifty, and welcome to the StandPoint. Let me say thank you to GTP for my cloth, Ophelia Crossland Design Source for me. Paba Cosmetics always gives us the makeup product and beautifully applied by Makeup and More. I'm so grateful to Makeup and More. They've stuck with me for how many years now? It's been an amazing journey and I'm so grateful to them. My Beats today by Afiyo Creations. We take a break. When we come back, we hear the amazing story of my little beautiful daughter called Ayeyi. We'll be back. Welcome back to the StandPoint. If you just joined us today, we are talking about a mother's undying love, raising a child with OI. And I have in the studio with me today, Justina Yadombuachi. She is the founder of OI Foundation Ghana. Welcome to the StandPoint.
Thank you.
How is Cape Coast?
Cape Coast is good.
Great. And finally, I have Professor Efua Hesse, consultant, a pediatric surgeon and president of the Accra College of Medicine. Welcome to the StandPoint, Prof.
Thank you very much.
Well, before we get down to talking, let me say thank you to our sponsors. That's Goil and Hinipa and Kasa. Yeah, dear. Good Energy, Ghana Oil. Buy Goil and invest in Ghana. Let us make Ghana what we want it to be by investing our money here. Enough of the Abruchi Nyama. African Women's Development Fund, AWDF, they've been supporting African women's rights organizations across Africa for many years. We are so grateful to them. Tinated Herbal, they produce Tinated Venicare and Tomacare. NS Chemist, Auntie Mary's Baby Gripe Mixture, and Nescofa Black Tonic. Wilma Africa also produces Frito cooking oil and Fortune rice, which comes in 3 types. The one that comes in the green package is good for the soft dishes, that's omutuo and rice water. And then the orange packaged one is good for wache. And then the wine packaged one, good for jollof rice and fried rice. Now, let me start with Justina. How are you?
I'm good. And you?
I'm good too. How's Ayeyi?
Ayeyi is doing well. She's fine.
What is Ayeyi's condition?
Her condition is called osteogenesis imperfecta.
Osteogenesis imperfecta.
Also known as brittle bone.
Brittle bone.
Yes.
How old is she now? How old is Ayeyi?
Almost 6.
Almost 6 years. Almost 6 years now. How has it been for you?
It's been tough from day one, but we still move on and we take a day at a time with her.
6 years. So I'll assume that, of course, medicine in Ghana had, advanced a bit. Was it detected in your womb?
Actually, they detected a deformity in my womb, but they didn't diagnose.
When she was in your womb?
Yes. They didn't diagnose when I was pregnant.
Okay.
Yes, they said the femur and the arms were all bowed. That was what the scan told us, but it wasn't diagnosed when I was pregnant.
And what were you told to do?
To terminate the pregnancy. That was what the doctors advised, that we should terminate the pregnancy because the fetus didn't look too good.
And how many months were you pregnant then?
28 weeks.
28, so that's about 6 months.
Yes.
So why didn't you terminate it?
It was a difficult thing because that was my first child, and that was something that we just couldn't do because of our Christian values. So we thought through our minds, my husband and I, and then we came out, no, let's wait and see what will happen. Probably the scan might even be wrong. Maybe the child had just laid in a certain position that is not allowing them to see correctly. So let's wait and see the outcome. So that was the main reason why we didn't terminate.
And when you gave birth?
That was where the problem was. I had her through cesarean section, and I remember that when she came out, she was crying so much. And the doctor was like, hey, your child can cry. Little did we all know that she was hurt. So they took her to the intensive care unit, and I happened to see her after 3 days because I had cesarean section. Yes, but when
so you went full term?
Yes, I went for 38 weeks.
38 weeks, yes. Okay.
So it was after I had gone to see her, and then the doctors came to me and my husband and broke the news to us that our child had that condition.
I'll come back to you, but Prof, what is OI?
Osteogenesis imperfecta stands for brittle bone. That means imperfect formation of bone. That's what osteogenesis is, bone formation. And imperfecta means it's not perfect. So it's a condition where there's a gene. You know that everybody's body is made up of cells.
Right.
And within each cell, you have what is called a nucleus, which has chromosomes. And you inherit some chromosomes from chromosome material from your mother, some material from your father, and it comes together to form the unique individual that you are. Right. Now, these chromosomes can develop some abnormalities. And along the genes, there's one particular gene that it develops an abnormality, and which then results in abnormal constituent material of bone formation, which is called collagen. So because that happens, the bones become brittle. Instead of collagen is what starts, and then it's what lines your joints, and then eventually will turn into bone. So if there's some abnormality, the bone does not harden as strong as it should, and it becomes brittle. So any slight movement that a normal person will not even feel, somebody who has brittle bones can break the bones very easily. So that's what that condition is. And occasionally it can also affect other parts of the body, including hearing, with hearing loss and so on.
Okay. But would you say that it was normal for her to have been advised to terminate the pregnancy at that stage when they detected an abnormality in the baby?
Well, you know, I think that for a lot of people, even professionals, because we think that there isn't a lot of social support and support for children with abnormalities, invariably perhaps the professional is thinking about you, the parent, and therefore from their personal point of view and their limited experience, they feel that this might be the best route. But it is not always. These days, technology is advancing so fast, and there's so many inventions that are meant to help make everybody's life easier. So Nowadays, I would think that it would be a very rare call to ask a parent to abort.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Now, Justina, so how did you feel when you were told that your child had this condition? Did you even understand what you were talking about?
I would say that before I went to see the baby, my mom told me something, and it's something that held me on. She told me, Erajua, no matter how you see the baby, love her with all your heart. That statement really hit me. So when I saw the baby, it wasn't as how I was expecting, but that statement was just in me. So I said, no matter how she is, I will hold on to her. That was my first time of hearing that word before. And the doctor gave us the word and told us to go and research. But he also told us it's 50-50. It's not likely she'll even make it because of the state at which she was in, because she was broken all over from head to toe. And it was quite serious, because how are we going to manage a child with all these fractures?
So this is a condition that worldwide, it's not that much.
It's not that common. But in medical school, we teach and we are taught that one of the we call differential diagnosis, one of the conditions you must think of when you see a child you think may be abused is osteogenesis imperfecta.
Perfect. Okay. Let me take a break. When we come back, I'll come to Justina, because after delivery too, she was advised to do certain things. Well, you remember this program is also aired on ABN TV on Sky Channel 235, which is across Western Europe, parts of Canada and Asia. Our website, www.thestandpoint.com.gh, is powered by Dream Oval, and we stream new programs every Friday at 8:15 p.m. We also link to our YouTube channel, so anytime you miss any episode, you can go there and watch. Thank you to House of Foods, Cake Technique, Matamates for giving us the port, and Yet Cleaning Services, who take care of our environment. Go to Yogurt supports us with yogurt every time. And I tell you all the time, as a woman, yogurt is very, very good for you. We'll be back. Welcome back to the Standpoint. Again, I say thank you to GTP for my cloth, Ophelia Crossland Design Suits for me. Papa Cosmetics always provides us with a makeup product, and beautifully applied by Makeup and More. My Beat by Afio Creations. Erajua. Yes. So when you found out that this is the baby you have, a baby with brittle bone, and her appearance wasn't what you expected. Now, you said the nurses and other parents who came around gave you some very, very good advice, in quote.
I would say that when she was at Nico, I didn't get the best. They told me so many things. Some said, give her water. They said they have this glass that you can put water in and give to a child. And then when she drinks it, she'll be better. Some were saying I should go home and then start pulling. Use the hot water and then start stretching the arms and the legs so that they'll be straightened. A whole lot of things were told me. But we couldn't do that too, because we knew she was broken all over. And she was crying all the time. And so it was very difficult.
Did you seek spiritual help?
I'm a Christian. And so the spiritual help was, I went to my church, I told my pastor, and so they were praying with us. My pastor's wife came home every day. She was actually the one that was bathing her every morning. So what we were doing was that after her bath, we just go back to God. And when you are passing, you might think we are doing a prayer meeting in the house. Because we're just praying, crying out to God for help. And one thing my mom also did was they told us there's no medication for it. There's nothing we could do about it. And so she was writing healing scriptures. And we're putting it in her hands, in her diapers, because she was just motionless. She was just there. And gradually we realized that she was getting better. You can see that gradually her hands will start moving. She will be moving the legs gradually. And because we are all not experienced in what we were doing, even though she will be moving, the next minute you see it's down. Probably we had done something for it to refracture. And so that was the back and forth thing that was happening.
So really, raising Ayeyi was like trial and error?
Yes, it was totally trial and error. That's what we did. My husband was encouraging me. My mother and some few family members and friends were around just to pat us at the back that it will be well.
Did you get into this self-pity and wondering whether you did something wrong and whether you offended somebody?
That one was 100%. I had so much self-pity, and I was asking myself questions. Why me? Why should this happen? I'm not a bad girl. I've always been good. I've gone to church. You know, all the things that I need to ask myself, I was asking, why? And I think my mom realized it, that I was just going off. And so she became very stern on me, that, hey, you have to come out of this. If you don't take time, it will take you somewhere. So gradually, with more advice and the word of God, one day I just sat down and said, I won't cry anymore. I'll face it the way it is. And I think that was where I had my...
So all this while, there was no medication for her, nothing?
No, not at all. We left the hospital with paracetamol, and that was all that we had. We did our best, just seeing how best we could do it our own way.
Were you able to go to work during these times?
Yes, I did. Thank God I had a supporting mother who took care and then allowed me to go to work. So I was going to work, and my employers were also supportive when I went to tell them my story. And so they brought me closer to where my mom is so that I can get that help. And that's how it was.
But I think there's something that a lot of mothers with children with disability or abnormality go through. Sometimes the health professionals don't have the patience to explain things to them.
Yes, I quite agree. I mean, we are to be faulted in some instances, but in other instances, it's not that it's not explained, but usually the parents are not in the frame of mind to even hear or understand what it is you are explaining, no matter how many times you may explain it to them. And that's where support groups are very helpful. Because if she had had the support group, another mother whose child had the same condition, she would be more likely to understand it from that mother's point of view than from what the health professionals would even be explaining to her.
That's true.
The thing is, there is no cure for the condition because it's in your genes, so it's already in your footprint. But everything is supportive.
Right.
Usually, children with disability are the best gifts if only you allow yourself to get to know them, because their personalities are unique. And I'm sure she'll tell you.
Oh, yes. And we'll watch a documentary on, Ayeyi and the journey she's traveled now.
Eat last one for me. You said you don't want me to eat, so I'll feed you small. You said I do eat for me.
Trapped in a 2-year-old's body, Efia Ayeyi Adombwa, 6 years, has osteogenesis imperfecta, a genetical condition that makes her bones brittle to the extent that breathing hard could even break her ribs. Throwing her hands when excited also breaks a bone. Looking at her arms now, almost all the bones in there have been broken before. The condition also makes her naturally short and may result in she never being able to walk without assistance. During her mother's pregnancy till birth, doctors in Ghana could not really diagnose what was wrong with the baby. They, however, indicated that the baby was not forming well and asked the mother to terminate the pregnancy. With her legs formally curved at 90 degrees, the family had to book a year in advance to get her to be operated upon in Canada. For medications, they depend on friends in Canada to import them. Osteogenesis imperfecta occurs in 8 types, and Ayeyi falls in the 3rd category. Patients sweat profusely and have a dark coloration in the white part of the eyes. The intensity of the sweat has forced her parents to get a fan everywhere, including some on her wheelchairs. The condition does not, however, affect her mental state.
I like my teacher. I like my teacher so much. Thank you. Bye-bye. What are you doing? And you need it call. I could call somebody.
In her playroom, this is where she learns how to move, building her confidence also in front of the mirror. No school in Cape Coast wanted to admit her owing to her condition. At Maconville Infant School, they only accepted to admit her when the parents promised to bring a help every day to assist her. Ayeyi is carried to class and with a special chair put at the window together with her aide. Osteogenesis imperfecta occurs in 1 out of every 15,000 children. Her family has decided out of this situation to help other parents by setting up a foundation to educate others. Rhyme after rhyme, Ayeyi will need the help by her side throughout her school life to avoid classmates breaking her bones.
How has Ayeyi's condition changed your life as a mother?
In so many ways. The first I'll say is he's drawn me closer to God. And Ayeyi has made me to learn how to pray and pray more. Because with her, it was all about praying to God for help. And so the little thing we pray, and that has become my lifestyle. The little thing, just something that anybody will brush off, I'll pray about it, yes. So she has really shown us back to our Maker and taught us a lot of patience. As I said earlier, we live a day at a time. We don't plan, we are going to do A, B, C, D with her. We live a day at a time with God for her life, yes. And made me more educated. It's taught me a lot. I've been informed, I've been educated, I've been exposed to so many things that we take for granted because we move in and out, we think everything, but through her, I've learned all those things, yeah.
But you've had to travel out to get some help for her.
Yes. We did that last year. And even with that one, I would say that if, as Doc said, if you have a child like that, they are gifts from God and they are special gifts. So you also have to put in special efforts. I remember when I got in touch with the support group, I became very inquisitive. I was asking all the unnecessary questions you can ask for, just getting to know what I needed to do. And through that, I was able to get in contact with the hospital. And that's how come we're able to even travel with her for medical treatment.
Prof, a mother's undying love.
Every single child is a gift from God. And God allows things to happen to you because he has something else for you that he wants you to do and that only you can do. But if you don't allow yourself to experience what it is he's bringing your way, you will never get to fulfill exactly what he wants you to fulfill in life. At every stage, you'll have a story and a testimony. And that will glorify
Yeah.
God.
But unfortunately, even in this day and age, you have parents, some educated, some finance is not the problem, because I'm just thinking about Iraja's story. I mean, the money involved and, you know, but they have children with special needs or special conditions. They get rid of them. They throw them away.
It is
they
so
kill them.
sad. You know, there have been some videos which have gone viral, I'm sure you've seen, of a man who had phocomelia. He had no arms and no legs.
Yeah.
He's gone on to school, he's married, he's got normal children. So if the parent had gotten rid of him because he came abnormal, can you imagine what the world would have missed out on? Showing you that disability is not inability. It's not stupidity. But parents, some parents need to define for themselves exactly why they're having children. Is it just so society will see that you too can produce? Are you really interested in the child and its future? That's a whole discussion. So you then have to question yourself as to why is it that I am having this child? And look at your motives, because that may be why you would go with the decision to get rid of one child, because of one physical abnormality.
Let me take another break. When we come back, we'll continue with the discussion. Welcome back to the StandPoint. The StandPoint is sponsored by African Women's Development Fund, AWDF. Tinated Herbal, they produce Tinated Venicare and Tomacare. NS Chemist produce Auntie Mary's Baby Gripe Mixture, and you can ask every mother. Auntie Mary's Baby Gripe Mixture has done wonders. And Nescafe Black Tonic. We are also sponsored by Goil. Goil is made in Ghana. Ghana oil. Patronized made in Ghana. Amhinepa Enkasa. Goil. Good energy. And Wilma Africa also produce Frytol cooking oil. Good old Frytol. You can never go wrong with it. And Fortune Rice. Fortune Rice comes in 3 types, and the types can be identified by the packaging. The green package one is very good for the soft dishes. That is the omutuo and then rice water. The orange package one, wache, good old wache. And then the wine package one, very good for jollof and fried rice. Jacinta, so what is next for you? I see you wearing Wishbone Day. How many kids have you identified so far who have?
4.
4 kids.
Yes. One is an adult, one is 18, so I'll say 3 kids and 1 adult.
One is what, 18 years?
Yes.
18 years?
Yeah.
Okay. And how did you meet them?
I met one on social media. I think 2 on social media. And then a doctor in Kolebo also called me that they've had a child with OI. And so that's how I met the other one.
And you became an advocate only when you came back from Canada?
No. No, I would say that.
Okay, so when did you become an advocate?
Oh, from the very first day I realized that there's help. I was doing it small on my page. Okay. But I think I came out well.
Because then you weren't telling people that you have a child with OI.
No, everybody.
You were just talking about it.
No, everybody knew. Everybody around me knew I had a child with a disability.
Okay.
Yeah, but for me to let the whole world know that there's help for OI, it came out just recently.
Okay. So what's the help out there?
We set up an OI foundation.
Okay.
And I think last month we officially launched the foundation. And we also celebrated Wishbone Day. That is International Awareness Day for OI. So we marched through town, creating the awareness of OI and what it was. Yes, that's what we've
So
done.
in all this, where's your husband? Because so far you're talking about you and your mother and your pastor's wife and...
My husband has been there from day one. He's the quiet type, wants to lay back and watch whatever goes on. Beginning when I gave birth to Aye, he was working in Accra, so he was coming over the weekend, yeah. But he's now moved to Takoradi, so much closer to us. Yeah, but he's been there from day one, supportive, doing all that he has to do for us and for Aye especially, yes.
Okay. You have another child apart from Aye?
Yes, I do. You know the amazing thing? I think God looks at the heart, and God knows that if he gives you something that you cherish, he keeps on blessing you. So I think 6 months down the line with Aye, I realized I was pregnant. I didn't even know at
God
first.
have mercy.
Yes, but when I realized I was pregnant, I was very scared.
I was going to ask.
I didn't know how this one to be, and since we know it's genetic, it was scary, I would say. But God being so good, I gave birth to her, and it was another girl. So my question was, those who were saying it was because of my sins, it was because I had done A or B or C, that's why now I have another girl without OI. So what do you say? And I think God gave me that child at that short time to show to the world that he is God, he knows what he does, and he knows how he wants to do things. No matter how it is, he will do it the way he wants to do it.
What's her name?
She's Ajua.
Ajua. And how old is she?
5.
5. Okay. And does she understand what her sister is going through?
Yes, she does. We've trained her. She understands. She knows how to play with her. She knows she's not supposed to carry her. She knows when her sister needs something, she has to go for it. She will have to call us. She knows it. She knows her sister has, she would say, broken bones. So
okay.
Aye is here, she'll tell you. Aye wants to do this, she'll come and tell you. Yes.
So do you see her kind of playing a supervisory role?
Yes.
Or protective role in Aye's life?
Yes, she's very protective, especially when we go to church. She won't allow kids to come near her because we've told her, if you allow so many kids to come, they might hurt her. So she will always be by the wheelchair, like, go back, go back, go back. And so she's very protective and they are very close. Yeah. I would say they all grew up together, so they are close, and we don't discriminate.
Okay.
We move with everybody at the same time. So even when we're going outside, it was very difficult. She felt it, we felt it, yeah. But they are very close.
What do you want Ghanaians to know about OI and what needs to be done?
I want Ghanaians to know that OI is a condition, yes, but it is not an inability. It's a condition that can be managed. And so if you happen to find yourself in a situation like that, seek for help.
What is your greatest fear when you look at IE every day?
I don't think I have a fear now. I used to, but not now. Now I see prospect. I see success. I see that God will take her far, because the things that she's exhibiting now shows that she's in for a purpose. She's in to help all of us in a way, because I should think that even hearing this story will bring hope to somebody. Yes. Right. So for now, I think God has taken us from that point of fear and has brought us to a point of courage and boldness and faith in God.
In conclusion,
as Irajua has said, the fact that you have a disability does not mean you are unable to function. one physical disability may be allowed to bring out another extraordinary ability that a lot of these children have. But if as a parent you're already going gloom and doom and not giving yourself the chance to discover what beautiful gifts these special children have, it's to your disadvantage and it's your loss. So Ghanaians should be encouraged. There's always help. There's a lot of ignorance and a lot of stigma, but there's always help and there's always encouragement. And I like to give people encouragement because after all, none of us is God and He is sovereign. So don't be discouraged. If any of this should come your way or any other abnormality, don't give up. And certainly don't go for the easier option of terminating a life, which you have no idea the purpose for which that life is coming into your family.
Somebody say amen to that. Thank you very much, Shiraja, for sharing this beautiful story with us. And Prof, as always, thank you very much. But that topic we'll treat. Why? We'll have to discuss that. Deciding to have a child, you know, why do you want to have a child? That's very important. That is deep, and I think we'll have to discuss it. Well, I'll be back with a bit of me. My traditional godfather, Odinihun Kwafu Akoto III, the king of Akwemu Kingdom, once told me a story of an old man walking with a child. The old man caught a butterfly in his hand and then folded, you know, made a fist, and asked the little boy, "So what do you think will happen to the butterfly in my hand?" The little boy looked up to the old man and said, "Whatever happens to the butterfly is in your hands. Whether it will die or it will survive, it's in your hands. When you squeeze it, it will die. But when you decide to release it, it will live." Children are a gift from God. God gives us whatever child that comes our way because He knows He has a purpose for it. No child is a bad child. Let us love our children in whichever form they come, in whichever way they come. May it never be known that a parent neglected or abandoned a child who has a disability at the hospital. Yes, we don't have the support systems. We don't have the technological know-how, and sometimes even though our doctors and medical health professionals are well advanced, well read and know it, they don't have what it takes to sometimes give the best treatment. But guess what? Love does a lot of magic. Love does a lot of magic. A parent's love, a family support can change a very bad story into a beautiful story. Let us love our children. Let us show kindness. Let us be supportive to children, parents, with children with special needs. My name is Gifty, and as always, I tell you that I have super crazy faith in God. I know there's nothing that God can do. And I am here just by grace, not because I did anything right, not because I know everything. People have done better. People have worked longer. People have invested much more. But I'm here by grace. Thanks for watching. See you same time next week. Bye for now.